Go ahead.
Namo Vitragay,
Namo Vitragay,
Namo Arihantanam,
Namo Arihantanam,
Namo Siddhanam,
Namo Siddhanam,
Namo Ayariyanam,
Namo Ayariyanam,
Namo Vajjayanam,
Namo Vajjayanam,
Namo Loe Savasahunam,
Namo Lohe Savvasahanam,
Aiso Panchanamukaro,
Aso Panchan Mukkaro,
Savapavapanasano,
Savvapavapanasana,
Mangalanancha Sauvesim,
Mangalanancha Savvesim,
Padmam Havai Mangalam.
Padvam Havai Mangalam,
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya,
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya,
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Before we get the question, Shailashanandji, I have a question.
Yes.
What is Vitrag Vignan of Dada Bhagwan? If you meet
Can you repeat?
a person who's not familiar with that, how would you answer that?
Can you repeat your question? It was very low voice.
Yeah. What is Vitrag Vignan of Dada Bhagwan
Oh yeah.
for a
So
non-Mahatma?
yeah, sure. So Vitrag Vignan is the holistic, means the wholesome science of life and living, which deals with I as I am, my inner mind, speech, body, inner processing or functioning, outer circumstantial evidences, nature, natural laws, natural regulatory system, and universe as a whole. So basically, what is the real need and the benefit of the Vitrag Vignan? First, if we understand the need, today we have many gadgets of comforts and luxuries. As we are doing today, I am seeing your face when you are sitting at USA, you are seeing my face. So technology has given us many, many things. Communication technology, information technology, stem cells, nanotechnology, genetics, even the God particles or neutrinos, as if we are ready to conquer the universe. But on the other hand, if we look inside, do I have inner unrest? Do I have disputes, clashes, lack of harmony? Am I in search of happy, harmonious, positive, or meaningful living? And today, in the recent corona pandemic, it has really tested all of us throughout the world. Few have suffered the actual illness. Rest all we are suffering from the stress and worries and anxieties and depression arising out of this corona pandemic. So, what is the way out? Is there any science or is there any knowledge light which can help me to live a happy, harmonious, positive, and meaningful living? Which can help me to recognize my inner potentials and make best use of it? Which can allow me to experience the inner freedom, inner true happiness, and even bliss, and ultimately it can enable me to know and attain my ultimate purpose or life of the goal. And here the answer is, as due to progress of physical or relative sciences, we have been gifted with so many luxuries and comforts. Similarly, there is inner science or science of my inner self, which is also known as the Vitrag Vignan, or in English we can term as holistic science of inner self or holistic science of the life and living, which can give me the true knowledge light, as we said, enabling me to live a happy, harmonious, positive, and meaningful living, which can help me to recognize my inner potentials, experience my inner freedom, and attain my ultimate goal of life and living. So, why the word Vitrag? Vitrag is a word, it's the highest state of evolution in the human form, which one can attain, where one is free of all the inner weaknesses, attachments, and aversions, anger, greed, pride, and deceit. As a result of that, on the other side, the light of pure soul self, which is known to be infinite knowing power, infinite seeing power, and infinite bliss, gets fully opened out. So much so that everything of the universe gets reflected into it. All the mysteries of the universe, life and universe, get revealed into that, and not only they become blissful, but they show us the path leading towards true happiness and ultimately bliss. So Vitrags are such highly evolved human forms where the inner pure soul self light is totally opened out. And in the present time, Dada Bhagwan, actually the A.M. Patel, Ambalal Murjibhai Patel, was a householder, but in his frail body in 1958, the eternal light of the pure self, which we can also say is a godhood light, got opened out. And from 1962 to 1988, he gave us the various understandings known as Akram Vignan or the Vitrag Vignan. Now, second important aspect of Akram Vignan or Vitrag Vignan is not only it deals with the philosophical or the high-end aspects of the soul and Prakriti, but it also deals with our day-to-day affairs, by which golden keys or by which simple understandings my daily living can be happy, harmonious. So on one side, it has given us the light of the worldly living or the Vyavhar Vignan. On the other side, it has thrown light on the deeper aspects or the secrets of the life as to what is in my realm, what is not, what is karma, charge and discharge, what is fate and free will, and ultimately who am I or what is my pure soul self, and how can I realize it and start enjoying the bliss of it. So in nutshell, the Vitrag Vignan of Dada Bhagwan is a holistic science. It is not a religion, it's not a ritual, it is free of traditions and rituals. Does it ask for hard penances? No, it doesn't ask for any hard penance, any external renunciation, any external traditions or rituals. What it is requiring or what it is asking for is only correct understanding. The incorrect understanding, wrong beliefs, or the incorrect visions will lead to all the puzzles, whereas the correct understanding, right belief, or right vision will lead to resolution, as well as it will lead us to all desirable stations. Second important aspect is whether it is for particular class of people. No, it is for one and all, irrespective of caste, creed, color, faith, nationality, literary, or even the socio-economic status. So in nutshell, it's a true knowledge. It's a knowledge light which can be useful and beneficial to one and all across every nook and corner of this world, through which one can know one's own life science and progress in the path of happiness. So I would, Rajni Bhai, describe Dada Bhagwan's Vitrag Science. In fact, Vitrag Science is since time immemorial. It was there, it is there, it will be there, but in the present time, Dada Bhagwan became instrumental to give us this gift of, wonderful gift of this Vitrag Vignan or Akram Vignan, which we are enjoying and which we aspire that let one and all in the world have the light of this knowledge, true knowledge, through which one can have the peace, happiness and harmony, especially in these testing times of Corona pandemic. Jai Satsang.
It's a very good short and sweet explanation, Shailesh. I have some follow-up questions, but I think
Sure.
there's some questions. Let me ask a follow-up, and then we'll follow up with, I guess, Meet is the first question, right, Deepak? Meet has a question?
Yes, he has a question, yes.
Okay, so before Meet, let me put one question. So, Shailesh, Anandji, I am following certain religion, and I'm following my
Can you
rituals.
speak little loudly, Rajni bhai? I'm getting your voice little low, please.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, better.
Okay. I'm following certain religion and I'm certain rituals and all that stuff.
Yes.
So, and I'm happily going along with my beliefs on religion and everyday vyavahar. How can Vitrag Vignan help me?
A very good question. Number one, whatever belief, faith, system, tradition, or religion one is following, one can very happily continue following it. At the same time, if I ask myself that by doing this, am I attaining my true purpose or am I getting my true answers? For example, if I am doing yoga, fine, there are many merits. If I'm doing meditation, fine, there are many merits. But I have done yoga or meditation in the morning, now I go to office. I have a clash with my colleagues or my boss or underhand. And all the benefits of my yoga or meditation, which I have done in the morning, may get wiped off within a few moments, and I don't know how to resolve the situation. Similarly, if I have some conflict with my wife or with my children at home, so the areas where still my practices are not giving me the ultimate results, this Vitrag Vignan will help me as a complementary and supplementary light, which will help whatever I am doing. Because whatever I'm doing with whatever understanding I have reached to some level, but then there are few miles to go beyond that level. So yoga or meditation is one which works all throughout the day for me, amongst the different personalities, among the different situations. It should keep me stable. It should keep me harmonious. It should give me the resolving answer. Why to me? Why this person is behaving with me like this? Why injustice? So if this science will give me the additional and ultimate light of understanding, which will help me in whatever I am following, and it will take me to my ultimate aim or goal.
Very
Hope
good.
I'm
Yes,
clear?
that's very good. So let us see more questions. Meet, you have a question? Go ahead. Then we'll take Dr. Krishabha and then Anubhav.
Sure.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Deepakanandji, can you share the screen?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So I was reading the second Aptavani in English, and the topic was about God and Gyani Purush, so Dada Bhagwan was talking about it. And so I'm just going to read that page right now. So the term God is an adjective, and we are Shudhdhatma without adjectives. The world has come about because of adjectives. Shudhdhatma does not have any adjective, and that is why our state is devoid of any adjectives, which is also known as nirvishesh. To call us God is equivalent to making fun of the Gyani Purush. You too can be called a Bhagwan if you do not have any clash tendency towards anyone, nor do you incite it in anyone else. People call us Bhagwan too, but our state is beyond all adjectives. It is a state without any attributes or adjectives. This state is not to be found in scriptures. Therefore, no one should delve into using adjectives. We do not have any adjectives. Bhagwan is an adjective. It is not a noun. When a person becomes a BSc, he is called a graduate. Then if he studies for another 10 years, it is belittling to call him a graduate. To call a Gyani Purush Bhagwan is the same as putting him down to a lower level. Gyani Purush is a wonder. He is without any adjectives. But how are people to understand that? That is why they call him Bhagwan. The word Bhagwan comes from the root word Bhag, just like the word Bhagyavan, meaning fortunate, from the word Bhagya, fortune. The word Bhagwan comes from Bhagwat, meaning godlike quality. Therefore, the one who possesses godlike qualities is called Bhagwan. The Gyani Purush has gone way beyond that. There is nothing else left for the Gyani to attain. There's nothing beyond that. We lack only 4 degrees from attaining the absolute state of omniscience, Keval Gyan. Lord Mahavir had stopped 360 degrees, and our Gyan stopped at 356 degrees, and that too because of the peculiarity of the current era of this time cycle. But if you wish, we can bestow that Keval Gnan of 360 within you in an hour. You have to be ready for it. However, because of the strangeness of the peculiarity of this era of the time cycle, you will not be able to digest it completely. So from this, my question, well, first of all, I wanted to say that I was really surprised that of the major difference between the level of Bhagwan and Gyani Purush, because I used to think that Bhagwan is already like the topmost level. So firstly, I wanted to ask, what is the main difference between Bhagwan and Gyani Purush? Like, how big is the difference, and what are the attributes of both of them?
Well, very good question and very in-depth question also. See, basically, Bhagwan word is used in two ways, but the main purpose of the word Bhagwan, it relates to Prakriti and the extra special qualities, or the what you can say suprahuman qualities. From the moment one has the suprahuman qualities like spontaneous forgiveness, unconditional love. If in Gujarati, if we say Shama, Rujuta, Mruduta, Arjavta, so some extra special qualities which we don't find in normal humans, they are known as Bhagavad Gun or Bhagavad qualities. So from the moment one sees the Bhagavad Gun or Bhagavad qualities in one's relative self, we termed as Bhagavan. Now this is as a result of the inner pure soul self light that the Prakriti attains these Bhagavad qualities. So Lord Krishna, the people termed as Bhagavan, Lord Rama, people termed as Bhagavan. So basically Bhagavan is an adjective, as he said. One who has attained the Bhagavad Gun or Bhagavad qualities is known as Bhagavan. And he goes ahead and says further that as everybody can become doctor by having particular level of studies, everybody can become advocate by having particular level of studies. If one has the correct knowledge and one travels on a path, one can attain the state of Bhagwan or the Bhagwadhood. The Gyani Purush is entirely a different state. Second, sometimes we use Bhagavan to denote our pure soul self or the Atman within. So if you ask where is Bhagavan, so people say it is within. So there the people also use the word Bhagavan to denote the pure soul self, but actually Bhagavan is an adjective applied for one with Bhagavad qualities or the Godhood qualities. Now the Gyani Purush is a different state altogether. Basically, the relative soul self or the Prakriti A.M. Patel had attained the state of Gyani Purush because he doesn't require to see any book or any scripture to answer any question all throughout the world. He can see in his immaculate, pure knowing light and pure seeing light, and he can answer which is penetrating and accepting the heart of everybody. But that state is because of the inner state of Dada Bhagwan, which he is referring to. That is the manifest pure soul self with the infinite knowing power, infinite seeing power, infinite energy of the pure soul self, and infinite bliss. And that state is beyond all words. And since it is beyond words, it has to be beyond adjectives. Nobody can compare or give any adjective to that pure soul self state. So actually his state was because of the Dada Bhagwan state, which was the manifest or opened out the pure soul self. And it is also known as the Lord of all the 14 lands, means Chaud Lokno Nath, because it's a highest state of being. And because of that Dada Bhagwan, which was dwelling as a manifest within, A.M. Patel was being referred to as the Gyani Purush. And the Gyani Purush is also beyond adjectives. In one way, he is smallest of the small. He is smallest of the smallest creature. On the other hand, he has everything uncomparable. So this is how his state is to be known. And God or Bhagavan is actually coming from this worldly language. And third point, in the last 3 to 4 births before attaining the liberation, the enlightened ones or the absolute ones, the enlightened ones are like Dada Bhagwan, who are almost near completion. But as he said, I am just 4 degrees short. But his relative body self is instrumental for the welfare of the whole world, and inside the Godhood light, means the pure soul self light, is all illuminating the universe. Whereas the Mahavir is an omniscient and omnipotent, or Simandar Swami is omniscient or omnipotent, as a full light, 360-degree within and without. So this is how the things function. So in the last 2, 3 or 4 births, the Prakriti or the relative self also becomes so pure and so divine that the people say or bow as Bhagwan or the Bhagavad qualities. I hope you are getting me.
Yeah, I am.
Yes. So this is how he's making us more enlightened that what it is really. And since he was there in front of us, since he is there as his knowledge body before us, we can understand these subtle differences. Otherwise, the worldly people will not be able to understand these subtle differences. Unless we have the correct vision opened out by the grace of enlightened ones, these subtle differences cannot be perceived. Okay?
Yeah.
Deepak Dada, can you share me the PDF?
Which one? This one?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Yeah, no problem.
Okay,
Thank
Meet,
So
are
I
you okay
hope
with this?
everybody got this thing.
Meet, are you okay?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
funny.
Jason.
Jason, okay. Kashyap bhai?
Jinal wants to ask something, I think. Ambu wants to ask something.
Who? Kashyap bhai?
Yes,
Who wants to
everyone.
ask? Kashyap bhai? हाँ बोलिए.
Yes. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Jai Sachian, everyone. Shailesh-Anandji, Jai Sachian. Yes. My question is that it is said that in this era there is no unity of mind, body, and speech. Can you please explain how this came about, that there is no unity of mind, body, and speech in this era? What is the reason, cause?
Yes, there are 2 reasons. One reason, as we see from outside on the surface, and the outside reason or the superficial view on the surface is this time known as Kali Yuga or also known as Dushamakal is such that, see, there are interconnected effects of my mind, body, speech, and what is going around within me as vibrations, and the effect in totality of everything around me. So this time it is said that it is very difficult to maintain the unity of mind, speech, and body. Means what I think, I cannot speak exactly, or I speak little differently from what I think. For example, if I am thinking or I am having opinion about Kashyap bhai or Rajani bhai little different, but my speech will show little different. Or if I have within my heart that I want to do or I don't want to do, but I will speak differently. And what I speak, really, it doesn't come into my behavior. If people say, okay, you go, I'll take care of everything, your house and your family members after when you are out. But as he goes out, I say, oh, I was busy. Oh, I'm coming. And
Can I clarify a little bit my question? This is, as I understand, the mind, body, speech, disunity is an effect, correct? So I would like to know what if this is an effect.
Yeah, I'm coming to that.
What is the cause behind that?
I am coming to that part. To that part.
Yes,
so I said that on a superficial view, from the superficial view, this is the reason.
Yes.
But now the correct reason or the correct thing is why I happen to come in this such time. Because in the past, when I was there in a good time, my inner bhav, my inner decisions or my inner projections became little faulty. So, because I faltered on good times in my inner bhav or inner projections or inner decisions, it laid the seeds for the present mind, body, and speech, which are not having uniformity. So in actually, I am responsible for myself, or Dada, as Dada Bhagwan says, you are whole and soul responsible for yourself. Nothing, not the present time, not the present Kali, not the present Dushamkal. None is responsible except me and me only, or except each and everyone for one's own self, because that was the fault of my bhav or projections in the previous times, which is giving me the result or the fruits like this, and I have come in such and such times. So because my mind, body and speech carried such atoms and molecules which are having the disparity of mind, speech and body, to dispose that off, to undergo through the effects of that, to undergo through the fruits of that, I had to come in such time of Kali Yuga where all the scientific circumstantial evidences come together and the things are disposed. So the correct reason, as I said, the deeper or the second part of the reason is my own faults previously done at the level of my bhav, decisions or projections.
Yes, as I understood, in short, I will summarize that the bhav previously was not in unity. That is why the effect is also not in unity.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. Yes.
Got it. Yes.
Jai Sachidanand. Anuben?
It's also.
Jai Sachidanand, all pure souls. Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand Shaileshanandji. While sleeping in the night, I recite, I am a pure soul till I fall asleep. And do I reach a state of self-realization? What if death occurs during that time?
Okay. What's your first name? Annu?
Annu. Yeah.
Annuji. So, Annuji, I hope you have, when you are asking about self-realization, I hope you have been graced or blessed with the vision of who am I? Have you been fortunate? Have you been fortunate to have the experiment of Gyani Purush to know who am I and who am I not?
I'm very new, you can say. It's almost a year now, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at present, as I understand, correct me because we are meeting for the first time, that you principally have the belief that I am Annu, I am mother of somebody, or I am sister of somebody, I am daughter of somebody, I am wife of somebody, I am friend of somebody, and these are my mind, speech and body, or I am doing this thing, I am cooking, I am eating, I am going out for shopping. Am I right?
Yeah, in a way, sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Not all the time, because I have started feeling a sense of bliss because I've started seeing myself separate from myself, you know.
Good. No, I understand. I'm coming to that point.
Yeah.
So I'm coming to that point. So by hearing these satsangs, by practicing it, by following it, you have started the journey. I understand that. But why I started from the basic? Because then it will give a very good perspective of what really the science is working like that. So now that you know that Anu, my name means your name belonging, attachments, mind, speech, body, and all the things happening there is one part, and you as a knower and seer is the second part. So Gyani Purush or enlightened ones, as a first step, when the person is ready to know who am I, or has the inquisitiveness and eagerness to know who am I, and has the perfect humility. So he requires only two things: perfect humility and I know nothing attitude. So if I, with class friends, if I say, please bless me such that I can realize my pure soul self or my pure self or myself, then with his divine experiment, where he gives us, or the Aptputras or whosoever is the instrumental, gives us the understanding of the relative self as well as real self. how the mind, speech, and body functions, what are its attributes, and how my pure soul self is different or separate, and what are its attributes. And after that 1 hour, what we can say separation experiment, 5 unique divine precepts are given, which work as agnyas or precepts or the guiding lights for us to nourish that seed of self-realization and to take the benefit and practice it throughout the day and throughout our life in living. So that seed, which sprouts in 2 leaves, now gradually becomes a bigger and bigger plant. In other words, the feeling which you have started, that Anu's Prakriti or the relative self is functioning, and how I as pure self, as a knower and seer, with my own inner independent bliss, how I am separate. But to foster that, to nourish that, you need 5 divine sentences as a precepts. Where are you located, by the way? Where are you staying?
I'm in Mumbai, proper Mumbai.
You are okay. You are in Mumbai, so you'll get sometime that opportunity once the corona subsides or once the corona goes away. The experiments are being conducted, and that will reinforce your this understanding and reinforce your this experiment. So by this way, it progresses. And now, once you have this in a regular experimental way, then when you say that I am pure soul self while sleeping, you know that Anu is going to sleep. I as pure self never sleeps. So Anu sleeps, Anu goes to sleep, Anu wakes up, Anu eats, Anu takes a bath, and I am Shudhdhatma all the while, knower and seer of all the activities of mind, speech, body of Anu within and without, and also sees relative and real in others. So which you said in the start that I see or more to pure soul self in all. So we see with 2 visions, relative and real. While I'm talking to you, relatively you are Anu, and really you are Shudhdhatma or pure soul self. Similarly, I see in everybody sees in me. And the third is who is the doer or how the things are being done. That's the Vyavasthit Shakti or a natural regulatory system. How I have to deal with all the situations and people throughout the day and throughout the life. That is, 4th is dispose the files amicably with equanimity. And 5th is the Shudhdhatma's account, means with the awareness and the interest of Shudhdhatma or pure soul self. So the last thing which you are asking, that if I'm sleeping by saying I'm Shudhdhatma, what depth it takes. It is working. It's working at a very deep level. I'll give you one simple example. Of course, I'm again reinforcing that a proper experiment, initiation through a proper experiment goes a very long way. But having said that, I'll just share my own experience. Once I had to undergo a small surgery. I was given general anesthesia. I was just coming out of general anesthesia, and I was not still awake or well oriented. But the people around me, they were Mahatmas, so they were poking me and testing me where I am. So they said me, oh, you must be having pain and you have been... I said, no. Shailesh has undergone surgery. I am Shudhdhatma. Even in that state, when I was not awake, I was just coming out of the anesthesia.
And in pain. No pain at that time. Yeah, no pain.
This came out that no, it has not been done to me. I am Shudhdhatma. It has been done to Shailesh. So it works beyond all the levels of mind, speech, and body. I can say that it works at the junction of relative and real. And that junction of relative and real is absolutely free of all the effects of the relative, absolutely free of the changes in relative, and the relative is all the changes, gross to subtle, whichever are happening there. So it works at the junction point. There's a line of demarcation, and it works there. And in other words, it works beyond conscious and unconscious or semi-conscious mind and whatever you say. So it works beyond all the Prakriti layers. And all the layers of mind, be it conscious mind or unconscious mind or
This
whatever.
is what I have written. I can imagine how one would feel remaining in this state 24/7. It feels good during all times, even during ups and downs. Of course, we feel nice when it is up and we are in the high state. But about low state, I don't know. I hope I don't have to experience. But yes, it feels really good. I've been practicing now since 3 days. So I'm really feeling nice.
So ups and downs are relative, and me as pure soul is just the knower and seer of ups and downs. If I give you a gross simile, you are standing on a beach, sea beach, and there are big tides and ebb tides and whatnot. And if you are looking from distance, you will be enjoying as a spectator, as a knower and seer. But if you go inside, oh, drowned, I'll be drowned. So similarly, but this is an experience which goes high and high graded in a graded fashion. Today you will feel that, oh, I have a very excellent, but tomorrow, few days after, a year after, you will
Something
feel
comes down.
that, oh, I have moved ahead. That was less. Now I'm moving ahead. So gradually we move from the second day of the bright moon cycle till the full moon day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, till the full moon day. Similarly, inside, at the level of my mind, what is happening at the level of my mind, thoughts, effects, emotions, vibrations, speech, body. Initially, I just can see a little bit of it, and I can get entangled into that or carried away or carried into that. But gradually, as my awareness increases, my practice increases, my sincerity goes up, more and more I can remain as an away, separate, away and knower and seer of what's going in my mind. I'll not take the side of my mind, but I'll remain neutral, or I'll remain as a neutral observer. So two things happen. Number one, I can see the faults or mistakes in the mind, speech, body impartially, and I'll not take the side of it. By my true impartial vision is pure soul, they will just get purified and they will just get washed away gradually. And second thing, I'll remain the effect free. The relative effects may be there, what you are saying, ups and downs, joy, sorrows, grief, and
anxiety or
whatever
whatever.
it is. But I will remain as a knower and seer, effect free. I'm free of all the effects of relative. So these are all the experiential levels which starts as a second.
I wouldn't say it's a high state, but yes, by practicing, maybe yes, I reached there. Yeah.
So, but it's a good journey. We pray and wish you all the good luck, or not the luck, but all the purusharth in your journey.
Blessings.
And to move ahead, and we are all traveling along with, jointly with each other.
Okay, Manuel?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Jai Sachidanand. Jinal?
Jinal?
Yes, Jai Sachidanand, everyone. My question is that do we really take decisions in life? Like, is it something which we can consciously think about, or it just comes? And also, how to take decisions with equanimity? Is there is a specific process according to the spiritual science where we can really be equanimous while taking any decision?
Oh, you have asked a very good question. Anyway, it's a very in-depth question also, but I'll try to simplify as much as possible. So there are two types of decisions, Gina. Number one, decisions in part of happenings, where there are inner circumstances, outer circumstances. For example, I'll give you the example. Suppose when I got the second rank in the university in my qualifying year, which was preparatory science at my time, the issue of decision came in. I was getting admissions everywhere, in my college, in IIT, wherever I wanted to go. So now the process of decision, as you are saying, my parents wanted I should not go for medicine because of reasons. They had correct reasons. I was wondering, now both the things as you are asking, whether it was a conscious decision, whether I was driven, right? So I thought my inner parliament, the inner self of every one of us works like a parliament. This was a bigger decision, maybe a bigger decision, maybe a smaller decision. I'll talk about smaller decisions also. So for a while, my mind, intellect, reflective consciousness, ego, they will debate with each other till they come to one point of clarity that, okay, now I'll be doing like this. So this was going on, but ultimately I was driven from within, inner drive, and I took my admission into medicine. From where that inner drive came, I'll answer that. Now today, if you ask me, I seeing my brother or others that they are earning 10 times more than me with 10 times less tension, because I have tension of each and every patient. And I was feeling that I can do something good. Now I feel that having money, I can hire 4 doctors to do the charity. So my inner decision is changed now. That is known as Bhav. So decisions are at 2 levels. One is at the level of happening, where the circumstances are required. Accumulation and dispersion of circumstances, gross to subtle, come into play. That is one part of decision. Whereas really the decision is inside, which is free of the circumstances. But that inside decision depends on my understanding prevalent at that time and with what understanding I go. I'll give you second example. Sometimes people are householders, married with family and everything. But because of the clashes and turmoils and moderations inside, they feel that better I would have remained alone, or better I would have chosen the path of renouncement or a monk or a nun. So outside, the decisions are like householders' life and living, because these are the circumstantial based things. Inside, one is constantly feeling that better I would have been a renounced one. So Dada Bhagwan used to say a humorous story that on a river bank of a Ganga, on one side, a pious saint, sadhu, monk was living. It's a small hut. On the other side, there was a royal dancer. Now this monk was living peacefully, but always was seeing at the glamour of that royal dancer, that big cars and Mercedes-Benz, and everybody is coming and saluting, and she has a lot. And he was feeling, poor guy, that I had to beg for my meals also. I have to beg for my spectacles and mockeries. Better I would have been like her. Now that royal dancer, though was enjoying the life of glamour, but within the heart was always looking at this serene saint, that how peacefully and how serenely he is living. So her heart was, better I would have been living like that. So next time the roles will be changed. You got my point?
Yes.
So,
yes.
So the decisions in the relative living part, where the circumstances are required, we feel that we are taking decisions, or we think at the level of our parliament, mind, speech, mind, reflective conscious, intellect and ego. But there is a factor of drive. And that drive, what drives us? People say there was inspiration, there was drive, there was passion. From where it comes? From my previous bhavs. Because previously I had put the seed that I want to be a doctor, I want to help the people. Now that drove me this birth to become a doctor. Now if my inner bhav is changed, next time when it becomes a fruit, it will drive me differently. You get my point? So yes. In present life happenings, though we are deciding at the relative level, really there is a factor of drive. And that factor of drive, or that inner machinery functioning, is a result of my previous bhav.
Okay.
So when I'm doing the bhav, and at the same time I'm changing my bhavs. So whatever I'm doing is bhav, which is free of circumstances, but based on my understanding, where I sign is yes or no. I want to do this, don't want to do this. It lays down the new seeds or new causes. Scientifically, when I'm doing bhav of helping or hitting or hurting somebody, I attract the atoms and molecules from outside. They come inside. There is a sort of electromagnetism in the presence of pure self. They come inside, they get charged with my bhav, and they get stored inside. there is storage which you can't imagine. I don't know how n number of terabytes can be stored inside in each area of the pure soul self or the soul self. And those charged atoms and molecules form the causal body, which is the blueprint for my future effects or future mind, speech, body, and future happenings. So when it, then on the second side, it gets connected to the cosmic computerized system, which is, we say, is Vyavasthit, or the natural regulatory system. Another example, suppose you and me have done one bhav that you want, that I need a husband, he should be little from a good family or handsome or whatever, and I have a bhav that I need a wife, she should be obedient and she should be from a good cultured family, whatever. Now that has gone to nature. Now nature says, wait, time is not right. At a particular time, nature will collect all the evidences. But when the result is given by nature, it comes as a scientific circumstantial evidences. Nature cannot give only husband or only wife. It has to give father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, everything as a bundle. I had decided just to become a doctor. I never knew which will be my college, who will be my professor, who will be my colleagues, who will be my future patients, who will be my future staff. But because of this one bhav, which I had taken the real inner decision, consistent and constant, remaining it consistent and constant, the nature provides me all the circumstantial evidences for the happenings. And during that period, it becomes a drive. So actually, in the part of happenings, life is two parts. One is a part of happening based on the circumstantial evidences, gross to subtle. I am doer, but I am instrumental doer. I am not independent doer. Yeah. If I ask you, you do the noble research, what all can you do independently? And what all can you not do independently? When it happens according to my wish, I say, oh, I did it. If the surgery is good, I say, oh, I did nice surgery. If there is a complication, then I say your body immunity was not good, this was not good, that was not good. Yes. So here in the part of happenings, I am dependent on circumstantial evidences, I am not independent. But inside, living as I am name bearer, I am Shailesh, I am independent. There is my relative free will, which is not dependent on circumstances. So there actually the decision part comes into play. But in the secondary happenings part, also the decisions. And now the second important part of your question. How should we take the decision in light of spiritual science? That was your second part, and very important. See, when I was not knowing anything, I was going as per my impulsive tendencies. I want to keep relation with this. No, I don't want to see the face of this person. No, I hate this person and I love this person. So it was all impulsive. Now, the impulse may come, but the guiding light comes in between, which moderates my decisions even in the part of happenings. Now, the spiritual light tells me, no, I should be equanimous with everybody. My mind, speech, body should not hurt any living being. There are 9 codes of conducts. There are visions which throws light on my reactions of mind, speech, body. It moderates and purifies my processes and atoms and molecules. So now my decisions, even in the part of happenings, even in relative behavioral things, is moderated and under and through the light of this guiding vision. So it is not any time a single factor. It doesn't go by Prakriti also. It's always a sum total of what Prakriti you have brought along with what present understanding you are using. And inside my decisions are totally different, as I said, based on my Gyan part. No, I want to be Shudhdhatma. I want to become like Dada Bhagwan. I want to practice 5 Agnyas. I want to be free of this, which is totally a different. So my decisions or my things at 2 levels, in happenings or a relative living, through the guiding light, through the correct vision, which is moderating my everything, and inside as a pure soul, or inside as an independent free will part, through a totally different. So will be a totally different person when it becomes a fruit. And if I'm Shudhdhatma, my decision has come, main decision that I'm not Shailesh, I'm Shudhdhatma. And my real power starts. I hope you got me. So there are two levels of free will, relative free will and real free will. Relative free will is at the level of Bhav Satta. Real free will is at the level of Swabhav Satta or Shudhdhatma. Got me?
Yes. Thank you so much. I think I got cleared a lot. Just one more related question, if I have.
Before you go with the question, I have a
Yeah.
humble request to everybody that all of you and your friend circle and wherever you feel, you want to send the English e-Akram magazine, please send us your email addresses. We'll be sharing through WhatsApp, but it's better to share through emails, and we want to compile. See, this will be useful to the new people also, those who don't know Dada Bhagwan also. And basic is at least 50% it will carry the material which is for the new aspirants, which are not exposed to or which has not been introduced to this Dada Bhagwan science. And what I taught, it will be a good part of that will come in the next issue. We are starting 2-3 different columns, and one is Secret of Secrets. Rhonda Byron wrote the book Secret, wherein she tried to reveal some secret to some level. Dada Bhagwan and enlightened ones have revealed all the secrets of human life. So whatever I talk to you in nutshell, what is in my realm, what is not, how the things function at relative, how the things function inside, everything we will give serially. Okay. Now you can put your second question.
Rajni sir, do I have time for like one small question?
Yeah, can we come back? Let us see meet and then we'll come back to you, okay?
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sailesh.
No.
I hope I'm making the things clear. I'm not puzzling it.
No. It's definitely more. Thank you.
Let us see how meet question call, and then the time will come back to you, okay?
Okay, yes, sure.
Okay, meet.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
So before you mentioned that if you want Gnan, you need perfect humility and the attitude of not knowing anything. So I wanted to ask, how do we develop that perfect humility?
Sorry?
How do we develop perfect humility?
Oh, good point. So humility starts from the level of our daily living, right? So in a daily living, right from joining hands or bowing or greeting somebody with a politeness or humility, it starts from there. We start humility by bowing to our parents, our elderly people, different ways. So it starts from bowing or joining hands to Sastanga Dandavat Pranam. So that is known as Vyavahar humility. Then we move ahead. Now, what is the science of humility? What is the advantage or what is the gain of humility? I am a student of science, so I always ask why, how, when, what. So when I am humble, my ego goes away and my reception becomes clear. Universe has everything to offer to me, but it's because of the ego curtain. It's because of some inner curtains that I'm not attaining or getting the benefit. So first and foremost is my ego bellows down. The reception becomes clear. Second is to whomsoever I am becoming humble or humble, with behaving with humility, there will be blessing. There is subtle energy transfer. Every living being has a biomagnetic energy field, and there is a subtle transfer of energy. I'll give you only one simple example which I have seen with my own eyes. In 1979, Dada Bhagwan took us to Abu. And then one day he said that, okay, we'll go to visit different places. And at one place there was a blind saint, blind Prajnachakshu. He was not been able to see with his eyes, age of around 80. Dada Bhagwan bowed him almost sastang. And we started wondering, oh, Dada Bhagwan is of such a high stature. This is a saint, is good. Why should Dada Bhagwan do sastang to him? Better he would have done sastang to Dada Bhagwan. But we will not be able to ask at that time. Evening we were sitting and Dada Bhagwan exposed the secret. He said that as A.M. Patel, Dada Bhagwan is inside. As A.M. Patel, I am humble of humble. I am smallest of small. And as the A.M. Patel bowed to him with humility, all the power of all the sadhana of him throughout the life was transferred to me in the form of blessings. This was the earning by a small time gesture of a humility in a vyavhar, right? So having said that, humility goes to real also. Actually, the humility comes when we have vision of two, relative and real. When I say that relatively we are meet, but really I go to pure self within, it is we nai. It's a Gujarati word. We means wishes, nai means viewpoint. So when we see with two viewpoints, relative and real. So as we are walking across the street, we are moving in the garden or wherever, when we see relative and real, even in the trees and even in a dog or cat or everybody, we are seeing with two nai or two viewpoints, relative and real. And no sooner we see the Shudhdhatma in that, we are in a humility, and my Shudhdhatma blossoms or opens out. So it starts from vyavhar or relative dealings, moves to real also. So it encompasses both relative and real. So this is how to develop it. Number one, by seeing the other people who are the examples of humility, our mind, body, and speech, relative self learns best by seeing others. So you should keep your eyes open to find out who are really humble, having the example of humility in different aspects. Somebody may have excellent humility towards parents, somebody may have humility towards all the human beings, and somebody like enlightened ones or the Mahatmas will have humility at the real level also. Second thing, the understanding is the mother of humility. The more correctly you understand, and the humility is the result. Because I know that in a relative world, I don't have any independent power. It's a vyavasthit Shakti. Suppose sometimes my discharge ego used to tell me that I can talk nicely, I can explain nicely this science. And second moment, the Prajna Shakti will correct. Why can't you become the Tirthankar? Why can't you become the Gyani Purush, give blessings and all will go to liberation? And it sits down, though, no, I have my limitations. So as Einstein said, ego is equal to 1 upon knowledge. More the knowledge of the truth, Vitrag Vignan, more the knowledge of the pure self, and your ego goes down, 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 down towards zero, and the humility expands. So humility is inversely proportional to the ego, right? So correct understanding itself will translate into humility. And as I said, practicing to see with the two viewpoints. More and more you see with two viewpoints, and more you will be having humility.
Okay.
And the taste of humility. Everything should be tasted. Nothing really carries value without taste. In a worldly living, somebody is not behaving with you politely, but still if you can remain humble, you will not sacrifice your humility. Somebody is scolding you, somebody is insulting you, somebody is behaving badly, somebody is behaving unfavorably, and still you can see yourself in that real and relative Shudhdhatma. Then your humility is steadfast. Okay? So it has to go through the various tests of time.
Okay.
And it has to be free of reciprocation. Because the others will behave with me politely, I will behave. No. Let the others do whatever they feel all right. I would be always in humility. That's the correct way. It should be free of reactions and reciprocations. Okay?
Okay. Okay. Now, Shudhdhatma, we have 3 minutes to let us see if you can.
Sorry?
We have 3 minutes. See if you can get Jinal's question in 3 minutes. Jinal?
Oh, okay. So whose question?
Jinal.
Yeah.
Jinal.
So, I think when I thought about what you said, I kind of found an answer. Just want a clarification. You said about drives. It is something which we have seeded in the previous birth, and now there are drives, right?
Yeah.
We feel the drive inside. So when there are multiple drives over a period of time, it will settle down eventually, right? We will be able to reach on one drive.
Yeah.
Is it possible, or it will stay multiple throughout?
See, all the seeds, we have brought the entire print of our present life, but we don't know that how it is going to be unfolding. So when it unfolds, initially there are so many options and different thoughts and parliamentary debates going on inside. then it settles on one, moves ahead. So on occasions also, on a longer platform also it works like this. For example, we Aptputras remained on this side, celibacy side, the others on this side. So these are the longer pathway decisions. Then there can be shorter pathway decisions, momentary decisions, day-to-day decisions. But the parliamentary system goes based on previous causes. There is some pull. But as I said, it is not the only factor. The present understanding light will moderate it, or will be able to moderate it, and it will purify or clarify or remove the unwanted part or the part of mistakes. I may have carried some wrong Bhav seeds also, but the present light doesn't allow me to do that because it's getting filtered or getting rectified, right? So it clears off my mistakes. That's what I'm saying. So it's a mixture of two. On one side, my machinery works, mind, body, speech. On the other side, it works through the light of the present understanding.
Thank you.
Okay, Jai Sachidan. Okay, perfect timing, Shailashanandji. Can you do 3 mantra meet and Jinal will follow?
Sure. And before I do 3 mantra, another small request also, you can send the questions. Of course, the satsang is generating questions and answers, and Rajani Bhai or somebody may make a small notes also, because in English Akram, we want to put all the lively things, not only explanations, but experiences, what the people have questions and how we can address. And if some of you can help me, not only writing, but will be audio versions of that also. There will be audio visual versions or small clips of also. My whole intention is it should be catching the heart of the new and young people. Okay. And I seek help from all of you, because right now that responsibility has been put on the head of Apt.Shaileshanandji. So I seek help and full-hearted involvement from all of you. Okay.
Okay.
Jai Sachidanand. Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Vitrag.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Loe Savasahunam.
Namo Loe Savasahunam.
Eso Panchanamukkaro.
Eso Panchanamukha.
Savvapavappanasano.
Savvapavappanasano.
Mangalanam cha sauvesim.
Mangalam cha sauvesim.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.